Welcome to Crypto Minutes, your daily cryptocurrency news for March the 18th, 2019. We source a minimum of 5 of the best trending articles from popular news aggregator CryptoPanic.com. Timestamps and the original articles can be found in the description links below.
Binance Coin (BNB), the native token of one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world, has seen its value triple in the past 3 months, arguably making it the best-performing cryptocurrency of the quarter. This has led some experts to speculate that Binance Coin could be following in Bitcoin's footsteps, which rose to more than $20,000 by the end of 2017. Binance Coin experiences massive rally in 2019, becomes best-performing coin. Although many companies are still struggling to stay afloat amid harsh market conditions, Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, seems to be doing just fine. Seeing how the company's native token Binance Coin has been performing since the beginning of 2019, it appears that outlook towards the exchange, manifested in the price of BNB, is overwhelmingly positive. The Malta-based exchange's eponymous token has more than tripled in value in the past 3 months and is currently trading at around $15. This, however, isn't the case for the rest of the digital asset market, as it remains mostly unchanged since last year's collapse, with most coins remaining at 20% or less of all-time highs. The BNB coin is widely used by Binance's users to pay for the exchange's trading fees. It has also become a popular medium of exchange for ICO issuers, as the coin allows startups to raise money by listing on Binance. The exchange is one of the most liquid trading platforms available and handles around $1 billion in trading volume every day. The best executing team in crypto. If history has any influence on the crypto markets, it seems that most meteoric price rises are met with a subsequent precipitous fall. However, some experts think BNB could be different. Tushar Jain, the managing partner at Multicoin Capital Management hedge fund in Austin, Texas, said that Binance was the best executing team in crypto. "We expect to hold them for the foreseeable future," Jain said. According to Bloomberg, what made Binance Coin attractive to investors is the company's practice of tying the performance of the exchange to the number of tokens in circulation. After the company's 2017 ICO, where 200 million BNB coins were issued, about 50% of them were allocated to company employees and investors. With the company's plans to spend 20% of its profits each year to buy back and destroy Binance Coin, a steady rise in demand is expected. The mechanism also allows Binance to simulate equity in the company without the same constraints of issuing stock. Changpeng Zhao, the co-founder of the exchange, said that Binance was in the same boat as its customers. "We don't want the price to drop, to be negatively impacted. We are very much aligned with our investors," he told Bloomberg. But even though share buybacks are a common thing among public companies, it has raised concerns over whether BNB coins are actually securities. Zhao noted that he didn't believe the coins should be classified as securities. However, many members of the crypto community are still worried about the coins falling under the jurisdiction of local regulators, as it would make them subject to both federal authorities and state securities departments, impeding the trade and availability of the cryptocurrency. Cardano ADA volumes almost double, Coinbase could trigger rally. 1. Cardano ADA price up 17.4%. 2. Coinbase could offer support for ADA. 3. Transaction averages almost double in the last 2 weeks. After dropping from the top 10, Cardano ADA is up 17.4% in the previous week. Because of this, it is one of the top performers and could register more gains if Coinbase supports ADA. Cardano price analysis. Fundamentals. On one end, Coinbase never-ending controversy makes them appear weak. However, as the third most liquid exchange after Binance and Liquid, their influence cannot be written off. The Coinbase effect may be waning after the exchange's effort of increasing the number of coin offering. Regardless, listing exposes the asset to more than 25 million customers, tagging extra demand from an exchange that is secure, never hacked, and insured. Back in Q2 2018, Coinbase said they were exploring 5 coins including Cardano ADA. During their consideration, they would work with banks as well as regulators to enable the rollout in as many jurisdictions as possible. At the same time, they would remain transparent to avert accusations of insider trading. Of the 5 coins, Cardano ADA is the only asset that is yet to be listed. Against expectations, in the last 3 quarters, Coinbase were aggressive, listing diminutive and low liquid assets as BAT, OX, and Zcash (ZEC). To some extent, this was understandable since ADA remains centralized as development steps up. However, the recent conclusion of Byron and the transition to Shelley would increase chances of Coinbase. Candlestick arrangements. Flipping Tron (TRX) and Cosmos Atom Cardano ADA is back to the top 10 after adding 17.4% from last week's close. Although part of this is because of investor expectations, it is favorable fundamentals and attractive candlestick arrangement that places buyers at an advantage. From the chart, it is clear that bulls are in control. While trading in a breakout pattern above 4.5 cents, bears are yet to reverse gains of March 9. Concurrently, the last two bars seem to be breaking away from the 90-day consolidation as they band along the upper BB. If anything, this points to bulls and risk-off. Aggressive traders should fine-tune entries in lower time frame with targets at 6 cents. Technical indicator. Our standout bar is March 11. As a high-volume bar, 324 million against 128 million average, it anchors our ADA/USD price analysis. Expectedly, after that surge in volumes, participation dropped but is expected to rise. As bull momentum pick up, any spike towards 6 cents must be at the back of high volumes exceeding averages of 167 million. In turn, the breakout bar nullifying bears above 6 cents must have high transaction volumes above 324 million. Already, transaction volumes are double in the last 2 weeks, 89 million to 166 million. Tron is evolving rapidly as a Dapp platform, outperforming rivals including EOS and Ethereum by huge margins. And more so now than ever after the launch of Odyssey 3.5. Remember when Justin Sun urged Ethereum developers to jump ship and join the Tron ecosystem? Well, that was clearly a not-so-subtle declaration of open war by the Tron CEO against the Ethereum ecosystem. Or more broadly, against all competitors in the Dapp arena including EOS. Fast forward a few months and the numbers from ground zero now indicate that Tron is winning pretty convincingly. Tron outperforms ETH and EOS by miles. The week ending March 9 was particularly outstanding for Tron, having registered a 207% growth in weekly transaction volume. At $180 million, it stayed way ahead of the rest of the pack, with EOS going down 28% to $102 million and Ethereum marginally improving its stand to accumulate just under $25 million. Expectedly, the Tron CEO took to Twitter to celebrate the success of the platform, and, presumably, to rub it in on the rivals by showing how Tron is currently out of their reach by quite some margin. Just like he often does. Worth mentioning here is that Tron's decentralized app network saw considerable growth in transaction volume after the launch of Odyssey 3.5. For those out of the loop, the Odyssey upgrade was basically a hard fork that brought along a slew of improvements including up to 50% boost in network performance, heightened security, dynamic energy adjustments, and multi-sig features, to name a few. Over the next couple of weeks, Dapp development and usage rapidly grew on the platform. And just as many had expected, it quickly overtook EOS, one of the most well-funded blockchain networks, in terms of both growth and transaction volume. Massive growth in user base. Tron's superior performance is not just limited to transaction figures. As of press time, at least 255 Tron-powered dApps are performing significantly better than their counterparts on rival platforms. More importantly, that gap seems to be only widening with time, which is possible only because more and more developers and end users have been flocking to the Tron ecosystem over the past few weeks. According to new data from Dapp analytics platform, Dapp Preview, Tron decentralized apps bagged around 33,000 new users in the week ending March 9. That amounts to an impressive 64% week-on-week growth. Ethereum came second by scoring 20,000 new users in the same period, followed by EOS at third with 15,000 new users. However, when it comes to actual usage, things don't look all that well for Ethereum. According to a recent report by blockchain research firm Longhash, only 1 in 10 Ethereum dApps see any usage at all on any given day. As for Tron, despite the phenomenal growth, its decentralized app ecosystem is still quite young, which also means that the growth prospects are practically limitless for the platform. The plan for Justin Sun and the Tron community at this juncture is to expand the ecosystem big enough to accommodate at least 2,000 dApps by the end of 2019. Thousands of bots and fake accounts pumping Ripple's XRP have been uncovered through graph analysis that suggests a massive largely fake shill army is engaging in manipulating sentiment and thus Ripple's price. There are various types of graphs I use and analyses I conduct, says Jeff Goldberg, an independent researcher focusing mainly on Twitter manipulation. It's quite manual and requires lots of time, he says. His analysis shows an incredible overlap between the followers of some of the most prominent XRP accounts. Every node is a Twitter account which is following and or being followed by Giant Gox, says Goldberg, with the curiously named Giant Gox being a fairly prominent XRP account. If you shuffle through the images, you'll see considerable overlap with the followers of Emi Yoshikawa at Emi_WNG, who leads Ripple's global business expansion strategy. In-depth analysis over months with some of it detailed last year reveals some 8,000 suspected XRP-related bots or fake manipulating accounts. This is not precise science. Humans have the ability to fool other humans, and that can include engaging in bot-like behavior or in temporarily getting out of the chill zone to act normal. The overall evidence, however, seems to be quite overwhelming, with it at times very much indisputable. These are plain bots, now removed. Their relevance is mainly in inflating followers' numbers. Following a Twitter purge, for example, one account that at times tweeted about XRP lost some 2 million followers. That's an astonishing number. One would think that Twitter would conduct a thorough audit on the account. The fact that it appears Twitter has not done so doesn't surprise me one bit. Goldberg says. Speaking to Trustnodes, they're not incentivized to remove inauthentic accounts as those inflate their platform statistics, he said. The 8,200 fake bots graph as of September 2018. Where we have plain bots, shown through uncharacteristic graphs, the matter is fairly black and white, but this is a cat-and-mouse game. Wit versus wit. We'll zoom into one humanish account that represents the latest advancements in digital public relations and manipulations. On the surface, this appears to be just another ordinary individual with an opinion, and that may well be the case. Zooming in, the picture is very different. Reading through his tweets, or hers as it may well be, one can't escape the conclusion this is probably a fabricated account. There are many things to notice in this image. The Twitter algo of who to follow is revealing in itself, but more revealing is the fact that out of his circa 1,400 followers, XRP is mentioned 1,384 times in their name or bio. Far more revealing, perhaps, is his YouTube account, an account that came to life only 3 months ago this December. In that first video, he says, "Going from hour to hour, each day, with endorphins flooding your body, knowing that you're holding on to this tremendous asset which is going to have a huge payoff, it's surreal, holding XRP, it feels like I'm living in a dream." That is actually a cartoon as stated by XRP Euphoria himself, who argues he looks better as a cartoon character. A cartoon character that looks very realistic in some ways, and that appears to have been designed by a British company called Commart, which says, "Our pedigree is in the production of complex and robust desktop applications, including utilities for the broadcast industry and our own video manipulation software." You'll notice the 23 comments in a video of 500 views, quite unlikely. Or the circa 80 likes, translating to about 20%, which is even more unlikely. More importantly, you'll notice his Twitter username has 8 random numbers, a well-documented phenomena of some Twitter accounts using a first name followed by 8 numbers that suggests it's probably because it's a fake account. The reason for these random 8 numbers is probably because the accounts are software generated en masse with smartphone boards then set up where humans can insta-tap, click and shift between all these different fake identities. Here we appear to have a fake video which is somewhat new. We've covered plain text-based manipulation, as have many, but seemingly human-like cartoon sentiment manipulation videos haven't been seen before. Ripple employee Twitter followers overlap graph as of July 2018. Ripple Labs sold about $400 million worth of XRP last year up to October 2018. Bitcoin breaks $4,000, data indicating the crypto markets are shifting. Bitcoin has once more returned to $4,000 per coin. The warming markets could be attributed to a number of positive factors around Bitcoin usage, adoption, and awareness. However, assuming the largest driver of BTC price is speculation, a more important factor could be changing market sentiment. Within the last 24 hours, the price of Bitcoin has increased 19.3% from approximately $3,960 to $4,040 on major exchanges. Bitcoin is currently trading at $3,980 on Coinbase Pro for BTC USD and $4,040 on Binance for BTC USDT. Currently, the largest driver of volume is through Bitcoin derivatives on BitMEX, with XBT USD trading at $3,970 per contract and occupying 11.7% of market volume. As always, it's difficult, if not impossible, to identify the precise reason for Bitcoin's shifting prices and volume. With thousands of factors at play, including unpredictable market forces, the change could be completely arbitrary. The underlying reason could be related to fundamentals, with Lightning Network, transactions, and the number of wallet addresses reaching new highs within this quarter. It could also be shifting sentiment across crypto Twitter and the 100 or so most popular cryptocurrency subreddits. According to the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, the metric has increased from 17 out of 100, indicating fear, to 54 out of 100, indicating greed. The index pulls data including social media, Google Trends, market momentum, and volatility. Over the last month, Bitcoin dominance has also shrunk, going from 52.65% to 50.65%. When the market is greedy, the dominance of Bitcoin, considered a crypto safe haven, tends to shrink while investment in riskier altcoins grows. That said, not all the data is positive. The amount of Bitcoin-related Twitter activity and Google Trends both indicate shrinking interest in the cryptocurrency. Tweets per day mentioning Bitcoin have remained relatively flat, staying within its approximately 20,000 tweets per day average. Meanwhile, the Google Trends score for Bitcoin has shrunk from 75 to 50 over the last 90 days, but that could because the market has become more nuanced in its interest in the technology, with the interest over time for blockchain going from 58 to 74 over the last 90 days. In aggregate, it is hard to determine whether the markets will continue within its $800 range or if it will break out within this quarter. But the data is looking promising.
Thank you for listening to Crypto Minutes. This is not financial advice. If you enjoyed the articles, please click like, share and subscribe or donate. See you tomorrow for more breaking news.